Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to the video. I hope everybody's day is going great. Today we got a fun video. We're going to be talking about Dallas Fuel. Obviously, once again, XQC actually had really good insight on why the Dallas Fuel have been failing. I'm going to share that comment with you guys, and then we'll also be taking a look at what Rascal said on his first stream since the release. He definitely had a lot to say. We're going to cover all of that. And of course, it's Wednesday. Today's the Overwatch League. It's back. I'm going to be doing my predictions for this week at the end of the video. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe, enter that giveaway, like the video. Oh, also, I want you guys to vote on what top 10 rankings I'm going to be doing this week. So I'm going to do the overall top 10 Overwatch League players, but I'm also going to do one more. So you guys let me know, top 10 DPS, top 10 DPS duo, top 10 tanks, supports, whatever. The highest upvoted comment will be the one I do this week. And now let's go ahead and hop into it. So today in Twitch chat, XQC said this. Basically, I think the success of the players in the past made them immune to improvement. From my perspective, KINGmykL didn't want to be too intrusive and bossy about his guidance and stuff. The family and history aspect holds them back. A lot of criticism was backpedaled from and they were defensive. So it seems like XQC is saying kind of what a lot of people have been saying as of recently. A lot of big egos on the team. Everybody has their own ideas and how they want to lead the team. And players just end up getting defensive, turns into arguments. And I could definitely see how this would happen between two players like Rascal and AKM. And now I've said this in multiple videos of mine about KINGmykL. He was more of a friend to these guys on this team than he was an actual authority figure. So very well summed up, good insight from inside of the Dallas Fuel. I still do stand by my opinion of thinking that KINGmykL should have been let go. The Dallas Fuel need a new head coach, one that obviously is going to have more authority, be able to tell the players what needs to be done, and they'll be scared of the consequences of breaking rules or not doing what he says, which clearly was not an issue on this team. And that's obviously why every single player always goes on social media, Twitter, Twitch, whatever, and just absolutely melts down or blows up. Seems to be no consequences, so that probably will change. And that's it for what XQC said. And now let's go over what Rascal had to say on his stream. This is pretty much the first time he's spoken out since being released, and there's a lot of good information here, so let's just hop into it. Sorry, but while I talk in the training arena, I'd prefer no donations/bits. Donation said this: F Dallas Fuel. Rascal said, no, don't do that. Before I start, I want to say to the non-Korean fans that I can't speak in English to them. I have to speak in Korean to talk about this. Now that I'm on stream, it almost feels like it's not a big deal. Where should I start? In brief, this is why I was released from Dallas Fuel. In general, I think I need to talk about everything. But the reason was that I wasn't able to harmonize with the team. That's probably the biggest one, communication issues, working with the team. Some people are saying I was advocating for something right, and Dallas wouldn't accept my opinion/view. But to be honest, it's not just one side's problem. I can't just say that definitively. As a pro player, I've never not been in a pro team, and now I'm a free agent. So in a way, I'm glad I can talk freely as a free agent, and this is kind of an opportunity. As a pro, I've always been forthright and direct about my views. At first in Kongdu, I thought as long as I'm doing well myself, that's the most important thing. It's true that maybe I wanted to be an individual star. But after I became team captain and started feeling responsible for the team, to be honest, I feel very apologetic for my teammates. In Kongdu, I think I was a good teammate, but in Dallas, I don't think I can say that I was a very good teammate. So I want to say sorry to them. I think I was exhausted a bit too. When I was on Kongdu, when I wanted to fix a problem, this is what I think. I could communicate that to my teammates. We could work through it, be patient, and look at the long term. In Dallas, I think I was impatient and maybe tired, so for my teammates, it might have seemed like I was really rushing into things, being very enthusiastic/direct in how I assert myself. So I think socially, I wasn't very adept because it's not just about a pro mindset. Maybe it's because I thought I was already good at Kongdu. I'm ready. So maybe I trusted myself too much, I was too selfish. It's probably a shame from the point of view of the org too. Maybe I was exhausted, there were communication issues, so for the org, it was a difficult situation. I'm honestly grateful to the org. There was someone I could talk to about advice, and I did talk to that person a lot. But I have to keep improving myself. I want to use this as an opportunity to learn about myself and be more flexible and less forthright. KINGmykL gave me a lot of advice on that count, and I think he was helpful with that. So I want to say sorry to all the fans who anticipated my joining Dallas and had high expectations. And I want to tell them that I'm going to keep working hard to improve and come back. It's back to the drawing board. LOL. I think I lost the mindset I had at the beginning. I think I'm going to stay pro. The biggest issue with Dallas was beyond gameplay. Everything outside the game, or maybe this is in game too, My communication with the teammates, that used to be my strength, and when that came to be an issue, then it resulted in bad gameplay. Shot calling, preparing, strategy, my playstyle trying to support my fellow DPS who could carry the game. Because my hero pool, if I had stayed on Tracer in Apex Season 3's first game, I don't know that I would have kept playing Overwatch. I like trying a variety of heroes, so my strength is supporting a partner with that. Making unexpected picks, creating variables. I honestly don't know how I played like that on McCree against New York. I never thought of myself as a pro player with stellar aim. Like, holy shit, that dude is insane. I'm more about strategy. Maybe that's why I was perceived as not a mechanically amazing player. My heroes are also more impacted by my team composition and team play. So I think that's why my performance might look like it fluctuates. If my team pops off, it might look like I'm doing amazing. But if my team collapses, you get the picture. Dallas is supporting me in terms of where I'm staying. I don't have to go back to Korea immediately. They'll let me stay until I find a new team or go back to Korea. And I also have an aunt in the US. There's been a lot of talk about boosting because of OGE and his past. A lot of people ask me about playing with him, and of course, boosting is bad. They're ruining the game and it negatively impacts our career as pro gamers. But they say to hate the crime, not the person. It's not like he threw because he didn't want to play the game. He did do wrong, but he is remorseful about it. He says so, and as someone who was his teammate, I don't want to be like, you boosting son of a bitch. I don't think that's professional either. He can repent and improve. Look at me. I wasn't able to work with my team and created all this controversy. Gotta fix the issues and improve. And to be honest, because I was teammates with AKM, I really want to tell him I'm sorry. The things I did that didn't look mature and ultimately getting released from the team, I wish him the best. And I want to ask him not to think the worst of me, because I went through a lot getting traded from London to Dallas. So there was a lot going on for me, so for looking kind of immature, I want to apologize. And Wins, besides everything else, he said I'm good at manipulating public sentiment. So I want to thank him for the compliment, but I want to tell him the first rule of manipulating public sentiment is keeping your mouth shut. I've had some negative experiences with social media, so I wasn't really on social media because of that. Like Twitter, I find people who post about what they eat and their daily lives on Twitter/social media so fascinating. Like I would just eat and say, good meal. Or at Disneyland, I'll probably post a picture saying, fun time. I think I just keep missing a beat because my teammates have already posted something about good teammates or something. But I'll just save the picture and then remember about posting it way too late. I speak so fast in Korean. I can communicate super well. I really want to study English, honestly, but what I worried about was that my English wouldn't ever get to where it needs to be. No matter how hard I studied, like would I be able to rap? I know some words and things, how to use them, aim, half, under, right side, left side, above, below, all these things. Okay, for example, if I want to say there's a tracer over there behind the wall with super low health, I can't say that in English. I can't say something like this. Around the corner, on the left, inside the room, second floor, third floor, second floor, indoors. I can't be specific. I can only shot call when it comes to ult economy. According to Overwatch League rules, for players who have left their team based on mutual agreement or team discord, the team is not required to continue to pay the player. But Dallas agreed to pay me till end of the season. So I'm going to focus on streaming and maybe look for a team. Someone asked me something earlier. What was it? Anyway, I can take questions now. Wait. I really want to say this about my performance. When my performance looks like it fluctuates, there's actually not that big of a difference. The reason I wasn't very good on London, I think I had some confidence issues. How I was getting talked about in the community, why is he getting played? I want my teammates to think that when I'm subbed in, oh yeah, we're going to win. But I think my teammates were influenced by the community, so when I got subbed in, I think they also thought, oh, it's Rascal. Same on Dallas. I think of myself as an all-arounder, but I also think I'm more aware of how insufficient it is to play everything that isn't Tracer. I thought Dallas had a good system, with a hit scan specialist AKM, a Tracer specialist effect, and me, a niche hero specialist. But basically, I don't want people to keep getting hurt by community chatter. Like I heard, AKM got hurt by that kind of criticism, but when I get subbed in, it's not like I'm coming in, haha, I'm better than you. I miss London members definitely. It was fun. London had a lot of weirdos, but I really think Prophet is a total wacko. Prophet is honestly unsurpassable. He's for real. Lots of disagreements with KINGmykL? Not at all. They weren't often. We used the same room and talked a lot of strategy. I shared a lot of thoughts with him. I think the team situation wasn't very good. We weren't able to synergize, and I think that was the same. I hope people don't feel too badly of KINGmykL, really. I hope people don't think that I ignore coaches or disagree frequently with the coaches or assert myself too dogmatically. It's possible it may have seemed that way, but I was happy that I had a coach I could rely on at Dallas. Like if the coach wants to achieve objective A, then I would suggest ideas that are A1 or A2. Using my hero pool, bringing in ideas, a supporter, that's what I wanted to do. I think that's what I'm suited for. I'll work hard to come back and show a good performance in the Overwatch League. And my plans are to work hard on gaming, to work out diligently, learn some effing English words. Someone in his chat told him to stay a streamer. He responded saying this, okay, so what exactly is talent? Because I don't think I'm talented at streaming. I'm not funny. I don't overreact to things because it makes me cringe. Please don't laugh at me. I'm being serious. I really respect XQC. He is the real deal. I haven't met many people who are that entertaining. I want to learn how to stream from XQC, but to be honest, I've always wanted to be a player that takes feedback, takes criticism from fans and everyone, but I think it's hard. But yeah, this all feels like a new start. I'm going to take a short break and some time off and work hard. If I were to send a video message to ACAM right now, I'm so sorry. Please don't think the worst of me. Actually, this Sunday, I'm going to visit the London team house. I'll go beat up Bedosin for the first time in a while. I was watching him throw those orbs, and I think he needs a wake-up call. I think Coach Changoon has been going soft on him. Didn't you hear, XQC? That effing mushroom head is killing everyone. Hey Bedosin, you're also playing that mushroom head hero. Maybe I'll buy you those round glasses. Maybe that's where his powers come from. The biggest reason Dallas continued to struggle was up to checking for ults. That does well, but when it comes to countering ults, the communication within the team doesn't work very well. Small shot calls. Like we need to bait out their ults and go in on the next push. That kind of stuff. What do I think of Effect? Really good Tracer player, I think. If I was mad about losing a match or something, then I wouldn't want to talk. I'd just go home and sleep, just deal with it alone. But Effect says, I'm really angry out loud. Like, that was fascinating to me. He expresses it. I don't mean to criticize Effect, I just think his style is very different from mine, so it was interesting. At the end, he said this, I'm sorry I had to break such bad news to the fans, and thank you everyone for cheering me. I'll work hard, and I'll come back a good player. And thanks for your support. Wow, so a lot of stuff there. Seems like Rascal is very sorry about what he did, especially to AKM. So it seems like they really did not get along. It's unfortunate that it didn't work out between the two because like Rascal said on this post, they could have been a really good team DPS-wise, having Effect on hit scan, Rascal flexing, and Effect on Tracer. All these messages though, they really don't change my opinion on what I think happened. I still do think that AKM, he got into it with Rascal, and fortunately for him, he speaks a lot of English. Hastro, Tazmu, I think they were closer with AKM, so obviously they naturally sided with him, which isn't a problem. I'm not saying that Hastro or Tazmu should have sided with Rascal. I'm saying that they probably should have provided a full-time translator and figured out a way to get this situation to work. Because at the end of the day, if it did work, these players are amazing. They're not going to be able to find another player like Rascal for a very long time. I know Hastro did an AMA yesterday and he said there was somebody for the players to talk to, but there was not a full-time translator, which 100% is what the team needed. So overall, this is just a lot of good insight from Rascal. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for Dallas Fuel. I feel bad for all the players. I really do. Even AKM, XQC, everybody who was on the team, who isn't anymore. They were just failed by management. I'm sure a lot of the players had egos and personality issues, but every team goes through that. All players have egos. It was really on the Dallas Fuel's management to deal with these types of situations and make sure it didn't get this far or this bad. So that's it for this. I'm going to leave it here because that took absolutely forever, and let's move on to my predictions for this week. Alright boys, prediction time. I'm going to try to run through this pretty quickly. We're starting off today with the LA Gladiators, LA Valiant, battle for Los Angeles. Every time these guys come together, it's a great matchup. The first set was amazing, the LA Valiant with that huge reverse sweep on the Gladiators. And in this one, I'm anticipating another Game 5. So far in the stage, the LA Valiant have performed a bit better and they've looked like the stronger team. So I'm going to have to go with the LA Valiant taking this 3-2. Moving on to the Dallas Fuel and San Francisco Shock. This has been a back and forth matchup throughout the season. Dallas Fuel took the first meeting, very close. Then San Francisco Shock took the second meeting. Wasn't as close, but we're sitting at 1-1, and I think this is definitely going to be a closer one than the first two. Probably going to a Game 5. Individual talent on the Dallas Fuel is really high, and the San Francisco Shock, they've had a few bad matches in a row now, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to come out in this match and perform very well. Seems like a lot of team chemistry, synergy issues that might take time to grow in, but I'm still going to go with them. I think the San Francisco Shock will win 3-2. Moving on to the Shanghai Dragons and Seoul Dynasty. I wish the Shanghai Dragons would win, I really do, but unfortunately they're probably going to get 4-0'd. Seoul Dynasty taking this one. Moving on to Thursday, we have the Houston Outlaws going up against Florida Mayhem. Both these teams are fairly even. They've had a lot of ups and downs the past few weeks. Houston Outlaws probably having a little bit more ups than the Florida Mayhem. They did get a victory off of Seoul Dynasty. Close match against Philadelphia Fusion. But as I've been saying, Houston Outlaws, usually when they're playing, it's going to be a good matchup. Florida Mayhem, they've looked improved. Hopefully Logix is back. I've missed him. Before he left, he was playing absolutely amazing, so I hope he's feeling better. But I'm still going to go with the Houston Outlaws. Another Game 5. Screw it. 3-2 Houston Outlaws. Moving on to the Boston Uprising and London Spitfire. Another Game 5. Wow. Yeah, and then Philly and New York after that. That's a Game 5 as well. Maybe I'm getting a little greedy because on Saturday we had 3 Game 5s in a row. Doesn't mean they're all going to go Game 5s, but hell, screw it. I think Boston Uprising will be able to beat the London Spitfire. They've looked absolutely stellar this stage, beating the New York Excelsior, destroying Houston Outlaws, Philadelphia Fusion. They're pretty much the best team in my opinion right now. And if the London Spitfire can't stop them, nobody this stage is going to stop them. So 3-2 for Boston Uprising. Moving on to the next one, Philadelphia Fusion, New York Excelsior, rematch from the finals of Stage 2. I've been waiting for this one. Ichio is back, and he looked great in their last matchup. And just like the Houston Outlaws, every match Philadelphia is in, it's extremely close. Doesn't matter if it's Shanghai or New York. So I'm going to go with Game 5 here. I think New York Excelsior, though, just like they did in the finals, they'll take this one. Their bros looked a little off as of late, but I'm sure he'll be back and ready to go. And if not, we got Big Boss Pine to come in and take over the duties. They also have Jonak, SBB, just they're stacked. I mean, so is Philly, though. So it's going to be a close matchup all the way to the 5th map. Moving on to Friday, we actually have a back-to-back match for the Philadelphia Fusion. They're taking on the San Francisco Shock. And as I said earlier, Shock is struggling. I don't think they'll have much of an opportunity to take out the Philadelphia Fusion. But hey, I did just say every Philly match is close. And that's pretty much fact. So this might go Game 5 as well. Probably not. It'll be a 3-1 victory for Philadelphia Fusion. Moving on to the next day, Florida Mayhem, Shanghai Dragons. This is no longer a really close matchup as it might have been in Stage 1. Florida Mayhem, they're going to take out Shanghai fairly easily, 4-0. I'm definitely excited to see what Seiya player can do in this set. We haven't really seen him go up against a team like Shanghai Dragons yet. I'm probably expecting some insane Widow plays, insane shots coming out from him. Then moving on to that last matchup of Friday, we have Boston Uprising, Seoul Dynasty. Boston, will they be able to do it? New York, London Spitfire, then Seoul Dynasty. Basically back to back to back. That would be an incredible feat. The only team to have beaten all 3 of these teams basically in a row. I mean, and Philadelphia Fusion. Like, these guys have had the hardest Stage 3 schedule so far. If they take out Seoul Dynasty, which I'm predicting they will, either 3-1 or 3-2, they are probably the favorites to win this stage. So moving on to Saturday, we have London Spitfire, LA Valiant. This will be a close one. Their very first matchup in Stage 1 was also very close, going all the way to Game 5. I do feel like if there's a chance for London Spitfire to turn their stage around, it is this week. If they lose to Boston and Los Angeles Valiant, they are absolutely shredded. But if they can get a 2-0, there's possibility they can still make the playoffs. Overall, though, for the standings, this match actually means a lot because both these teams, they're kind of sitting around the same area. London Spitfire is slipping recently. Los Angeles Valiant on the rise. They're sitting around the 4th and 3rd place. Whoever wins this could really start to jump ahead the other team. I'm going to predict the London Spitfire 3-2. Then we have New York Excelsior taking on the LA Gladiators. I think New York is just too much for Fisher and company. Sure, LA Gladiators, they've looked improved, but I still don't think they'll be able to topple New York Excelsior. Sure, they did beat Seoul Dynasty last week, but Jonak, Mano, Mako, they're a whole nother beast. 3-1 victory for New York. Moving on to the very last matchup of this week, we got the Texas Showdown. So we're starting with the Los Angeles battle, and then we're ending with the Texas Showdown. Hopefully this will be a close one. It's always fun when 2 teams who are rivals go head-to-head and it goes all the way down to Game 5. I feel like this week, Dallas' best chance of probably getting a game for the rest of this stage. If they don't, they're probably going to lose the rest of their matches. But they have been improving recently. Houston Outlaws are very inconsistent as well, but I think I do have to go with Houston Outlaws 3-2. And that's basically it for my predictions, guys. Let me know what you think about them. Also, remember, comment what you guys want to see for top 10 Overwatch League players. You guys are voting for whether I do tanks, supports, DPS duos, whatever. Feel free to comment whatever you guys like. Highest upvoted one is the one I will do. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe, like the video. And that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.